Hi guys, this is Kitty Kazoo and welcome to the 10 Style Challenge. The first one on the list that I'm doing now is Calvin and Hobbes, which is a cute little comic that I grew up reading. My brother really liked this one growing up, so it was pretty fun to do, although I definitely made the head too big. It kind of goes pretty fast, the whole video, because I wanted to make it as short as possible, which didn't really work because it still ends up being super long. But I hope that you will enjoy it anyway because it was pretty fun to do. I kind of smudged the marker on her face, but whatever. Here is the end product. Turned out okay. I think it followed the style well enough. The second one that I did was an Inuyasha style. I kind of followed Sango's design for this, but it actually ended up being a lot harder than I expected it to. I sketched it over and over, which I should mention, I very rarely include the sketch for these videos, because, I don't know, I just feel like it would be kind of boring to see, or at least when I first started, the camera didn't really pick up on the sketch, but maybe I just do it a little bit darker now, I don't know. So maybe I'll start including the sketch in videos. Let me know what you think. I don't think that the Inuyasha one turned out too well, and her face is definitely too low on the head, but whatever. It's fine. By the way, I'd like to mention that the lighting in this video jumps around a lot, and it might be a little bit distracting, but I recorded it over the course of a couple days, so, different times of the day, there's different lightings, and I don't have any sort of professional equipment, so, these are just the kind of things that happen. I hope that it doesn't distract you too much. Here's the Inuyasha end product. Next up on the list is Paper Mario, which, as you may quickly notice, I didn't have the video for the sketch, and that's because I was dumb, and I didn't check to see if my camera was focused when I was recording the sketch, so I ended up just recording a super blurry image the entire time, so I just decided to cut it out entirely, because you couldn't even really see anything. I apologize for that. This is actually Paper Mario specifically, not just Mario. I based it off of Princess Peach, obviously, in Paper Mario. I really like Thousand Year Door, by the way. That's my personal favorite Mario game. Although I'm also partial to the Galaxy games because of nostalgia. She kind of turned out a little bit I kind of wish that I had put more time into it to make it look proper. But, whatever. It doesn't always work out that way. Next up on the list is Mob Psycho 100. I guess it would make more sense to say that it's the One Punch Man style, because that one did technically come first, but I haven't actually seen One Punch Man yet. I've just seen Mob Psycho 100, so that's what we're gonna have to go with here. Although the girls are usually drawn a little bit differently in Mob Psycho, I decided to go for Mob's eyes because they're the more iconic eyes, and I just kind of wanted to go for that kind of thing. I'm not sure that the style turned out perfectly, obviously, considering it's something I've never drawn in before, the time that I did this. So, for our first attempt, I feel like it's okay, which is basically the description for most of the drawings in this challenge, not channel. Why am I dumb? So here's the Mob Psycho 100 drawing. And next up we have Disney. Again, I forgot to focus while doing the sketch, so I had to cut that out. Thankfully, I only did it on those two drawings, so from here it's smooth sailing. This one, if you couldn't already tell, I used Ariel as my reference. It was surprisingly difficult. I didn't think it was going to be that hard for some reason, but it ended up being really difficult. I struggled with the sketch for a good 10 minutes, which is pretty long considering the rest of these I spent like no more than 3 minutes each. I kind of gave her a bit of a fancy looking dress, like in the reference image I was using, which doesn't actually look anything like what she wears in the movie, but whatever. This is how it turned out. I think the face looks creepy, but whatever. Next up is Charlie Brown, and hey, can you tell it's a different day by the lighting? Goodness gracious. Alright, so Charlie Brown, I grew up watching all of the, all the specials for Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween, and it's always something that's been kind of close to my heart, so I definitely wanted to do that for this. I feel like it turned out pretty well, actually. When I showed it to Mom, she actually said that it looked like the character in the show, I used Peppermint Patty as my reference image, but there isn't really anybody with long hair. So I kind of just had to imagine what it might be like if there was a character with long hair. And here's the Charlie Brown drawing, all done. I like the hands. I don't know why. They're just kind of cute. Next up, we have Akatsuki no Yona, which is my personal favorite manga. I read it last December, and you can actually see on my DeviantArt, I did multiple fan arts of the Akatsuki no Yona characters, also called Yona of the Dawn. And because of doing those fan arts, it actually influenced my style quite a lot. I do my personal style a little later in the channel. In the video, why am I dumb? Stop saying channel. But anyway, doing those fan arts influenced my style quite a bit, actually, in the way that I draw hair. But something I would also like to point out is that while I was coloring, which the video isn't actually there yet, but while I was coloring her hair, I genuinely forgot that I was doing a style challenge and that I was supposed to be mimicking her style. And so I just kind of colored it the way that I typically would. And so because of that, it didn't really end up following the style too well. So I apologize for that. But whatever. I think it still turned out okay and kind of gets the point across of Akatsuki no Yona, which, by the way, if you have not read the manga, I highly recommend it. It was not something that I thought I would enjoy until I actually just went and started reading it. And funnily enough, I actually saw the anime first, and I remember thinking, wow, the characters and the story, they're pretty good, but this just seems like a really low-quality production. And then I looked up and found out it was actually based on a manga. So I was super happy to find that I could find something of much higher quality production. This is the end result. It looks really weird. Her facial expression doesn't make any sense. But whatever. This next one was my absolute favorite one to do. I was really looking forward to this one. I should have just made it one of the first ones. But this is Lavender Town, my favorite YouTuber, at least my favorite art YouTuber. And she has the most adorable style to ever exist in the universe. So I used characters from her comic called Unfamiliar, which you should go read. It's adorable. And kind of just did the same sort of body that they do in that. And obviously followed her style. Lavender always does different pupils for her characters depending on what they're feeling or what their character kind of is. So I went for little cat heads in my character's eyes because I'm Kitty Kazoo. Kitty, cat head, there you go. I kind of made her dress look a lot like Planchette's, I think that's what her name was, in Unfamiliar, and went for the same sort of body shape. I actually was just planning to do the head, but once I got started I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to draw the whole body. And this was one of the ones that I think turned out the best. Obviously, it isn't perfect, as nothing will be. I should stop even mentioning that because none of these are going to be perfect. They're just going to be the best that I can do. I made her dress blue and dark blue. Planchette's is black and white, but I'm going with the same sort of color theme of having orange hair, which is kind of the color that my hair is right now, and, wearing blue, which is my favorite color. And I try to wear it as often as possible. When I first discovered Lavender Town, I thought that her eyes kind of looked like that of the Tim Burton style, which I haven't really seen much of, but that's just what it kind of made me think of. But now it's kind of the other way around, and now I keep thinking the Tim Burton style looks more like Lavender Town's. I also added a lot of pink into the shading of her skin and eyes, because that's what she does, is she adds a lot of pink. And I kind of had difficulty with it, because it felt brave to use pink on it. But I eventually got brave enough to do what needed to be done to shade it. Next up is the Magic School Bus, which another one that I grew up watching, which if you're a homeschooler, you probably did the same thing. It's like, okay, science class today is watch an episode of Magic School Bus. I actually did the 10 style challenge before, and this is one of the ones that I did for that, so it ended up coming pretty naturally to me this time around. Last time it was really hard, but I mainly used Dorothy Ann as my reference, if you're curious. And the faces are so creepy. It doesn't actually look that weird until you have to study it long enough to draw it. And then drawing the lips was just really weird. I couldn't quite do it. Another thing I couldn't quite do was simple letter writing. Apparently didn't know how to write the letter B. I accidentally wrote an M and then had to fix that. And last but not least is my personal style, which is something that is constantly evolving, honestly. I wouldn't even really say that I have much of a style yet, because it keeps changing. Like every month my drawings look different, and if I look to the drawings that I did a year ago, they look nothing like what I do now. So I don't know whether it's really fair to call this my style more than just the style that I'm doing right now. But what I thought was kind of interesting, nonetheless, was seeing how the other styles that I did in this challenge really influenced the way that I draw this one. Like, the hair really looks a lot like that of Akatsuki no Yona, and the eyes are all shiny, which, I don't know, kind of reminds me of Lavender Town's, but more like just anime in general. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I've been commentating for over 10 minutes, which is just kind of crazy. I did not think that I was going to get through without at least having a million awkward slip-ups. So be proud of me, okay? I made it through 10 minutes of commentating. But yeah, the video's almost over. This challenge was super fun to do, and really helped me to kind of broaden my sights, I suppose, and look into different things that I enjoy doing. Here's the end result of my personal style. I like the round face. I want to do them more like that lately, henceforth. And then these are all of the drawings that you can see together over the 2 pages. This was really fun to do. I highly recommend it for anybody who's looking to challenge themselves, or they aren't sure what they want their drawing style to be. Just go back to your roots. Find the things that you have always loved watching, and then draw them. And you'll be able to kind of figure out what you want your style to be. Anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. Far too long in my opinion. My throat hurts. So I'm going to go get a glass of milk. I will see you guys in the next video.